You're watching Netrush Report, your home for tennis drama, rivalries, and the stories that go far beyond the baseline. If you live for the intensity, the comebacks, and the legends in the making, hit that subscribe button and join the rush. The scene was set in Beijing. Daniil Medvedev, the former world number 1, facing Alejandro Davidovich Hawk-Eye in the round of 16. The Russian was already in control of the match, dictating rallies and pushing his opponent around the court. But then came the spark, a tight call, one of those split-second decisions where every millimeter counts. Medvedev wanted to see the replay on the stadium screen using Hawk-Eye. But to his frustration, the replay wasn't available. This wasn't just about 1 point. It was about trust in the system. Sitting down at the changeover, Medvedev turned to the chair umpire and calmly, but with heavy sarcasm, delivered his now viral line. When you pay $10 million, you should show it. It was a brutal critique aimed squarely at the ADP. Why spend millions on technology if the players and fans can't actually benefit from it when it matters most? To truly understand why this moment hit so hard, we need to rewind 1 year. At the 2024 China Open, Medvedev had already made headlines for his furious complaints about Hawk-Eye. After a series of questionable calls, he lashed out, saying Hawk-Eye was so bad and urging the ADP to stop buying it. His frustration boiled over, and he ended up losing his match in Beijing that year, only adding fuel to his anger. So when 2025 rolled around and history started to repeat itself, Medvedev wasn't going to let it slide. This wasn't just a random rant. It was a continuation of a battle he's been fighting for over a year. Now let's break this down. Hawk-Eye Live has been marketed as the gold standard for electronic line calling. It's supposed to be precise, removing human error from the game. But for players like Medvedev, the issue isn't just whether the calls are accurate. It's about transparency. If the replay can't be shown on the stadium screen in real time, both players and fans are left in the dark. For someone like Medvedev, who thrives on precision, data, and control, this lack of visibility feels like an insult. It's not enough for the system to be right. It has to be seen to be right. And that's where the $10 million jab comes in. Here's the fascinating part. Despite the controversy, Medvedev didn't unravel. Instead, he kept his cool on the court and delivered a strong performance, beating Davidovich Hawk-Eye 6-3, 6-3. He moved into the quarterfinals without dropping a set, proving that while the rant was memorable, it wasn't a distraction. It was classic Medvedev, sharp words off the court, sharper execution on it. And now, the stage is set for a huge showdown. Daniil Medvedev versus Alexander Zverev in the quarterfinals. Zverev, the number 2 seed, had to battle through 3 sets against Corentin Moutet to get here. He's been in strong form this season, but Medvedev knows how to get under his skin. This matchup isn't just about rankings, it's about rivalry. Medvedev and Zverev have faced off numerous times, and their head-to-head record is as competitive as it gets. With both men chasing momentum late in the season, this quarterfinal could be one of the highlights of the China Open. Let's zoom out. The 2025 China Open has already taken on a different tone because Carlos Alcaraz, the defending champion, isn't playing this year. That leaves the door wide open for other contenders. World number 2 Jannik Sinner is the favorite from the top half of the draw, while Alex de Minaur, seeded number 3, is also lurking. On the bottom half, it's Medvedev, Zverev, and potentially Lorenzo Musetti or Lerner Tien who could make noise. In other words, Beijing is wide open. And in an open field, every match, every controversy, and every outburst feels even more magnified. Of course, this isn't the first time Medvedev has delivered a headline-grabbing tirade. From his infamous meltdowns at the US Open early in his career to his sarcastic jabs at officials, he has built a reputation as one of the tour's most outspoken players. Some see it as whining. Others see it as honesty. But one thing is certain, Medvedev never leaves fans bored. His Hawk-Eye rants might sound petty on the surface, but they point to a bigger issue. How much can players trust technology in a sport where margins are razor thin? And more importantly, how much accountability should the ADP demand from the systems it invests in? Already, Medvedev's comments have gone viral on tennis Twitter. Fans are divided. Some agree with him, saying they've been frustrated by the lack of replay visibility at big events. Others argue that Medvedev is just stirring up drama. Even fellow players are starting to chime in. A few have backed Medvedev's call for more transparency, while others prefer to let the system do its job quietly. The ADP, as usual, has remained silent for now. But make no mistake, when a top player publicly mocks a $10 million investment, the story doesn't just fade away. The pressure is now on the ADP and the tournament organizers to either defend Hawk-Eye or improve its presentation. For Medvedev, the tirade is just one chapter. The real story will be what happens against Zverev. A win there would send him to the semifinals against either Musetti or Tien, both of whom he would be favored to beat. That could mean a potential final against Jannik Sinner, setting up a blockbuster clash between two of the most consistent performers of 2025. But if Medvedev loses, then once again, the narrative could turn against him. The brilliant player who complains more than he wins. It's a fine line, and he knows it. So here we are again. Daniil Medvedev versus Hawk-Eye, Part 2. A year after calling it so bad, he's back in Beijing, mocking the ADP's $10 million investment with a single sarcastic line. Love him or hate him, Medvedev knows how to spark a conversation, and he backs it up with his tennis. As he prepares to face Alexander Zverev, the only thing certain is this: Medvedev will keep fighting, on the court and off it. You've been watching Netrush Report, your home for tennis drama, rivalries, and the stories that go far beyond the baseline. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe for more updates, and let us know in the comments. Do you agree with Medvedev about Hawk-Eye, or do you think he's overreacting? Until next time, stay tuned, stay passionate, and as always, join the rush.